It's the final showdown of Season 2. It's the championship showdown of Season 2. Two drivers, Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton, fighting for the Season 2 title, fighting for the championship. It's the round 15 out of 15, 14 epic races behind us, and now we've got one more to go. Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc separated by 13 points. Charles Leclerc ahead of Lewis Hamilton. If Lewis Hamilton finishes third and above, well, that's what he needs to do, finish third and above. He'll have to hope then Charles Leclerc is either 10th or below. If he finishes second, if Lewis Hamilton finishes second, Charles Leclerc needs to be 9th or below. And if Lewis Hamilton wins the race, Charles Leclerc needs to be 5th or below or lower. So Lewis Hamilton's got to finish in the top 3 to keep his championship hopes alive. This will very much be an exciting race as they fight for the championship. The frame rate, such a long back straight on that strip as we head with Sergio Perez. He started his lap time. Alex Dunn, I checked this time to notice him right behind him. And Gabriel Bortoleto also starts his lap. Dunn will be held up by Perez probably. We've seen it in recent races where any race kind of like holding up somebody. As here we go, Gabriel Bortoleto starting his lap. Last season, season 1, after it was only 4 races long, and after them 4 races, well, into the final race of the season, we saw Charles Leclerc, George Russell and King Antonelli into the final round fighting for the championship, and saw George Russell win the championship after Charles Leclerc DNF'd that race, I'm pretty sure. Well, this time it's Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc. They're not quite as close as they were last season. Last season they were equal in points. This season's a 13-point gap, so it's a bit of a long shot for Hamilton to win this year's title, but do not rule it out. We did see last race Leclerc not finish, and Hamilton finished second, which will be enough for Hamilton to win the championship if that happens. But this qualifying will be extra crucial, as I did some AI races off camera, just to see how the AI would take this track, as I always do. And well, it's safe to say that AI struggle to not crash at this track. At least I think I figured out. Charles Leclerc will get a good amount of slipstream off that McLaren, but Lewis Hamilton will get a good amount of slipstream off that Williams. Pierre Gasly is currently on provisional pole, unless Lewis Hamilton, who looks like I reckon will be the next driver to potentially put it on pole, provisional pole, can do anything about it. Verstappen, last race weekend pole position, currently in 77. Lewis Hamilton, as I said, does go provisional pole. We got Oscar Piastri though, also a challenger potentially for us. Oscar Piastri go provisional pole. The answer to that is no. And Charles Leclerc does go provisional pole. Charles Leclerc is ahead of his teammate. Lando Norris goes P4. Lindblad and Porsche, they look quite good this season. So at the end of the season, one lap pace. Of course, Porsche the only team not to score a single points, as Tsunoda and the other Porsche is currently up in P6. Tsunoda is the only driver this season to finish less than 2 races. He's only finished 1 race, and that was round 2. And he was so close to finishing last race. I'm pretty sure he crashed out in the final lap with the second final lap last race. Well, and he was in the points that as well. He crashed out of Valtteri Bottas. So long lap for this one, obviously. They were 1 minute 22. Of course, in this game it's very long, because last race we were seeing some 50-second lap times. It was like 44 seconds, I'm pretty sure. Well, here we are, 1 minute and 22 seconds. As Alex Dunn, who was held up by Sergio Perez, is down P23. He's going to be the next one to start his lap time. His teammate is on P3, Pierre Gasly, another Braun GP. It's going to be truly exciting to see who can get pole position, and who out of the 2 Ferrari drivers will come out on top at the end of this race. Alex Dunn will be the first one to start his second lap time as we go through this final corner now. Look how fast they take it. Be really upsetting for them. Imagine if they accidentally lose grip or bottom out mid corner and go straight onto the wall. Wouldn't be ideal. Who is Sergio Perez holding up here? It is an Aston Martin. I don't think I see one of the championship contenders being held up. Lewis Hamilton. He's actually going to be held up. I know he might be in trouble here. And this other Aston Martin, I think, is Lance Stroll or Fernando Alonso. This is Lance Stroll, I'm pretty sure. who's holding up Lewis Hamilton. I'm going to go back to Lewis Hamilton. As I look for Stroll on this thing, there he is. That's Lord Lindblad. This is Lance Stroll, who's ahead of Lewis Hamilton there on track, not on time squeak block. George Russell and Kimi Antonelli not finished any of the past three races. Of course, they were fighting for the championship, but all these crashes and Mercedes not able to score points, taking them out, and it has given anybody who's wondering, Ferrari have won the Constructors' Championship. I'm pretty sure they won that 1 or 2 races ago now. Alex Dunn, can he improve his lap time? By the way, Bottas and Lindblad did not make it to the line to finish their lap time. Neither did Lando Norris. Alex Dunn goes to P10. What can Gabriel Bortoleto do? Gabriel Bortoleto goes P12. Sergio Perez is now the next one to start finish his lap time, but he's holding a lot of drivers up, so I doubt they will improve. So it's all about really George Russell here. We're actually going, who's actually been held up by him as well. So it's all about really Kimi Antonelli, who is the next one in clean air, other than Max Verstappen, I'm pretty sure, who is also there. Verstappen rounds the final corner. Can Verstappen potentially put it on pole position? No. What about Kimi Antonelli? Kimi Antonelli crossed the line. He stays P10. He stays where he is. It's now down to Ollie Behrman, who's next across the line, and then go to Lewis Hamilton. Ollie Behrman does not improve. Lewis Hamilton was held up by an Aston Martin there, so he does not improve. Charles Leclerc, he looks like he's got pole position. Oscar Piastri takes off pole position from Charles Leclerc, and unless Charles Leclerc can maybe improve his lap time just enough here to take it back. Oscar Piastri looks like he's on pole. Tsunoda does not improve his lap time. Charles Leclerc crosses the line. Oscar Piastri's on pole. Here's the starting grid for the final race season. Oscar Piastri on pole position, top by championship leader Charles Leclerc, and Lewis Hamilton in third place, 4th Pierre Gasly, 5th is Lando Norris, 6th Ollie Behrman, 7th Yuki Tsunoda, 8th is Carlos Sainz, 9th is Max Verstappen. I changed his livery for this race, so he actually sees car number. 10th is Antonelli, 11th is Dunn, 12th Hulkenberg, 14th Bortoleto, 14th is Russell, 15th is Ocon, 16th is Isaac Hadjar, 17th is Alex Albon, 8th is Joshua Pierce, 9th is Son Hayes, Fernando Alonso on P20, 21st is Martin Bottas. The other portion, 22nd, are Lance Stroll in 23rd, and Sergio Perez in 20th. This should be a race for the ages. This is the championship showdown. 5 red lights, hit the revs. It's lights out on the way they go. It's like a good start for Oscar Piastri there. Oscar Piastri continues to lead this race. Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc side by side. Lewis Hamilton takes second place from Charles Leclerc. It looks like, yes, he does. That's crucial. Valtteri Bottas has got a 5-second penalty. There's a safety car deployed already. 3 cars are out of the background. There's a car up on its side there and against the wall. And that is Fernando Alonso, Valtteri Bottas, and Arvid Lindblad out already. Oscar Piastri leads this race from Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc fall behind. It's only a 12-lap race. This one's a very short race compared to others given the long lap, so I will be disabling safety car after the first safety car, so hopefully the safety car doesn't last too long then. Charles Leclerc, he still, as it stands, he will be the world champion. It's very important for him, because if Lewis Hamilton finishes second place, Charles Leclerc needs to finish 8th place, I think, for Lewis Hamilton to be world champion. 8th does get you 4 points, and I'm pretty sure that's how it is. Prior, I should probably double check, shouldn't I? Got a sharp pain in my arm. That's not ideal. The Australian Grand Prix winner of Season 2 leads the Las Vegas Grand Prix after taking that pole position. Ideally, though, Lewis Hamilton, probably for Lewis Hamilton, he wants to get past him. He wants to get past Oscar Piastri as soon as possible, because if Lewis Hamilton has the lead, that's the best he can do, and he can just have to hope that Leclerc falls back. Just want to point out here is, everybody remember that rocket ship start Oscar Piastri got at the European Grand Prix this season, in which he took the lead of the race, and in lap 1, Bortoleto had that absolute massive accident, which he smashed into the wall like at high speed turn 3, and it brought out a safety car, and during that safety car, Oscar Piastri crashed out while leading the race. So I see if you remembered that, because it'd be awkward if it happened to him this time, wouldn't it? I might be letting commentators curse. By the way, guys, season 3 update, I have laid out the calendar. I'm not going to tell you right now. But I also downloaded some extra liveries off Discord from the people on Discord, so thank you to them for making them. They don't. None of them are asked to be credited because they just put it onto the liveries thing for people to use, so they don't actually have to credit them. But I don't actually memorize who it was, so I can't tell you who it was, because I don't know who it was. But all know other of the Monoposto livery, Monoposto Discord server liveries 2026 livery section. All these liveries in this game I have in this track was, but I downloaded some more. So yeah, and there will be no new teams next season. It'll be the same teams. Not all teams are getting livery changed. Not all of them will be. Some of them will be. Some of them only get one car livery changed, so you can differentiate who's who. Like I downloaded a new livery for Ferrari, for example, but I'm debating. Oh, that person overtake, so it must be in this Lampsey's car. So I'm debating if I will only put Lewis Hamilton with that new Ferrari livery. It's a very basic livery. I think it's based off the I can't think of the car name. That Ferrari, the one from the 90s, the Ferrari from the 90s or late 80s. I think it was from the 90s. That was just all red. Wait, no, maybe from the 80s. I can't remember when it was from, but it literally is just all red. I've also got one from based off the 2020 Mugello Grand Prix, Ferrari's 1000th Grand Prix. So I might actually put that on the car. I don't know. Don't think I will though, because that's a special livery for 1000th Grand Prix. It's got the 1000 written over it, I'm pretty sure. Also update for Verstappen's livery. You can tell his car now has got number 3 on it, because I found livery number 3 when it actually looked quite decent, because of course he used to have the same livery as Hadjar in this game, which is number 6. So it's even harder to differentiate them, but now they've got different liveries, different numbers. But if you look closely, so go from Hadjar there to Verstappen here, the car livery is actually different in itself. The shading is a bit different, and the logos are a bit different, like different placement for some reason. But you know, it's how it is. Before the safety car comes in this lap, I want the frame rate is dropped for a second for some reason there. It's Lewis Hamilton and also Piastri, the top 2 on soft tyres, but Ferrari have gone for a different strategy with Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton, because Charles Leclerc is on mediums, which is opposite McLaren, who've done both drivers on softs, as Ferrari have done Hamilton's softs and Leclerc mediums. And you can see many other teams done something similar. Russell and Mercedes are on hard tyres, but Antonelli from Mercedes on soft tyres. But I wonder if that's like a different strategy choice because they're so far back down the order. The old championship contenders, the old champion from last year, the reigning world champion, won't be the reigning world champion after this race. Oscar Piastri, now we're watching him now. Can he get a second race win of the season? He probably should have more. He probably should have more podiums if he hasn't been unlucky this season. He won the Australian Grand Prix. Probably should have won that one. Lewis Hamilton got an unfair penalty that race. Safety car peels in though. And they head down the hill for the fast final corner. Of course, quite slow now because they're on the yellow flag condition. But now he goes now. It's green flags once again. And Lando Norris already looking potentially for inside overtake on Charles Leclerc. They're all kind of going very slowly for turn 1, as we see them crawling through Antonelli and Borletto now going side by side into turn 2. And there's a bit of contact behind him, Hulkenberg and Ocon. As we now look at Russell and Albon on the inside of George Russell there. They're all battling out now. Albon on the inside of Russell. Virtual safety car is out as Verstappen's out of this race. And so is Ollie Behrman. Ollie Behrman and Verstappen out of the race. You can see them there. Charles Leclerc and Lando Norris are very close. I bet Lewis Hamilton is secretly praying that Lando Norris and Charles Leclerc collide. The ESC is ending. Here we go, green. Now, Lando Norris is probably going to try to chase down Charles Leclerc to get onto the podium. As long as Lewis Hamilton's second place, Leclerc can afford to finish in the top 8. So I think he might not really defend himself that much. But Hamilton's close to Piastri. Hamilton's looking on the inside of Piastri for the race lead. This will change things because Leclerc, if Hamilton takes the lead of the race, Leclerc will have to finish in the top 3, I think. No, he won't. It'll be top 4. To finish top 4 is Russell, now Albon are out. And so is Hadjar. Russell, Albon and Hadjar are out, and there's a tyre flying. It was on the straight. Hadjar's in the middle of the track, it looks like there. I can't see where Russell's car is. They've all despawned now, I'm pretty sure. as we now see Hamilton, who leads the Grand Prix. If Hamilton wins this race, I think Leclerc needs to finish 5th place and Hamilton will be the champion. So Leclerc, now he's got to be worrying a little bit. Lando Norris is into the pits, so Leclerc will have a gap to Pierre Gasly, which is crucial, and Leclerc's actually staying close to them. So currently as it stands, Leclerc is still world champion. And Piastri has got a better restart than Lewis Hamilton has, as Lewis Hamilton is going very slowly. Has Lewis Hamilton got a puncture? I don't know, but Lewis Hamilton really messed up that restart, as Charles Leclerc is now looking on the outside of Lewis Hamilton potentially as we head into this next corner. After the next virtual safety car, I'm going to disable the virtual safety car for a couple of laps so we don't get any. Piastri leads the Grand Prix once again from Lewis Hamilton with Charles Leclerc. Lewis Hamilton really messed up that safety car restart, and that's really messed up his race in general, and his championship challenges in general, because to maximise his chances of winning it, he needs to win the race. Lando Norris is pitted for hard tyres. That's an early pit stop for him, I reckon. Down the strip now, Charles Leclerc on the inside of Lewis Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton's tyres, I think, are gone. Charles Leclerc takes 2nd place from Lewis Hamilton, and he's also going to look at Oscar Piastri potentially. No, Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc side by side. There's contact there. The two championship contenders collide, but they're still in this race. It looks like Hamilton is down into 3rd place behind his teammate, but he's going to look back into the inside up into that final corner. Hamilton takes 2nd place back. This is brilliant. Hamilton's into the pits. They probably called him in there just to avoid any more contact and collisions, as all soft tyres seem like they've gone. I reckon it was actually probably smarter to start on mediums, because these soft tyres dies quite quickly. I think they should have died a couple of laps earlier if it wasn't for the virtual and safety and Bill Kohler's safety car. As Antonelli is pitted for soft tyres, and Lewis Hamilton is also pitted for soft tyres. That's interesting, as he's probably looking to undercut Piastri or something. But he has exited behind Pierce, who's on old hard tyres. He's going to try to cruise past Pierce here potentially. That's probably the easiest thing for him. Yes, he does just cruise past him. Snowda's still in this race, which is a rarity. Lewis Hamilton back to him, because I thought Pierce is attacking back. Lando Norris has undercut Lewis Hamilton, I want to point out. Lando Norris, the pit for hard tyres, has undercut Lewis Hamilton, and not by a small amount. The undercut is powerful around this track. Lewis Hamilton may be careful when he get past Esteban Ocon and Sonny Hayes, because these two are all over the place in this battle. Esteban Ocon looking on Sonny Hayes, and also Hulkenberg is involved in this as well. So Sonny Hayes is going to go for the inside of Hulkenberg. We're watching these four simply because the championship contender is in this battle technically. Lewis Hamilton darts to the inside of Esteban Ocon. That was risky. It might not work for him. Gasly gets a 5-second penalty. Gasly and Pierce are out, and Pierce is in the wall there. We can see him there. His car is now slowly despawning. I noticed despawning stages. And in fact, the virtual safety car is helping all these drivers out here, as now Lewis Hamilton might not get past. Charles Leclerc is going to exit ahead of Lewis Hamilton, I think. The answer to that is yes, he does, but Charles Leclerc is on medium tyres. Lewis Hamilton, he does get past Yuki Tsunoda just, is still behind Sonny Hayes though, and that means his race has been deeply affected by virtual safety cars once again. Safety cars and virtual safety cars is probably what Lewis Hamilton wants to blame for potentially making him lose the championship this season. An unfair penalty is also involved in that. He's caught up to Lando Norris. Charles Leclerc on the inside of Lando Norris. Charles Leclerc ahead of Lando Norris. Sainz has got a 5-second penalty. Hayes is out of the race. Hayes is now out of the race, and Jack's cleared. Sainz is out of the race too. Hamilton and Norris. Hamilton and Tsunoda collide a little bit there. It looks like Tsunoda gets past Hamilton. Tsunoda is ahead of Hamilton. Ocon's out of his race as well. Ocon is out of his race. So is Lance Stroll. The only 9 cars remain in this race. Which means, by the way, Lewis Hamilton, 10 cars remain in this race, sorry. Less cars remain in this race, less cars that can win this less cars that can affect Lewis Hamilton's chances of winning the championship. What? No, less cars in this race, less chance Lewis Hamilton's winning this championship, because Leclerc has less places lower down he can finish. And as Hamilton's jumped off Tsunoda, I think Hamilton's chances of winning the championships might be over. And as Piastri's got a big gap at the top of the table. Kimi Antonelli looking at Nico Hulkenberg, he's reeling him in here, and Kimi Antonelli to the inside of Nico Hulkenberg. Kimi Antonelli not going to he's potentially going to dive bomb into turn 1 here, I'm thinking. No, he backs up from that. Dunn is now caught up to Lewis Hamilton. Hamilton's really off the pace. Oh, and by the way, guys, don't think Yuki Tsunoda's suddenly gonna finally score points for Porsche here, because if Tsunoda crashes out, you don't score points for crashing out and being in the top 10, and still being in the top 10. So that will be his race over if he crashes out, and no points for him. Charles Leclerc, I think, has may have won this title. I'm not going to destroy the hype for you, but if Lewis Hamilton drops behind Alex Dunn here, it's going to be crucial. These soft tyres are just not working for Lewis Hamilton, as Alex Dunn goes to the outside, goes to the inside, and is ahead of Lewis Hamilton and takes P5. Lewis Hamilton, he's caught back up to Alex Dunn the straights there. It's just so slow for the corners. Look at them tyres. As Oscar Piastri goes for another lap, I wonder if Hamilton will come to the pits. The soft tyres are just not working for Lewis Hamilton this race. Even Bortoletto on hard tyres has caught up to Lewis Hamilton, who's on soft. He's not really caught up to him, but he's closer to him than he should be. Because you know that it's going to go for move on Lando Norris for third place. Porsche, who have never scored a point this season. Yuki Tsunoda has only finished one race this season, is now fighting for... Oh, there's contact there! And they're in the... Oh my god, there's a car in the air. Yuki Tsunoda once again out of the race. He has only finished one race in season 2, and he is out of the race, like properly out now. He's and Oscar Piastri is pitted. Charles Leclerc leads the race from Alex Dunn from Oscar Piastri. Is that fireworks? I think that's a Humtree. It looks like a firework. Yuki Tsunoda, well, he technically is in the top 10. He won't score a point for, and that means Porsche will have no points scored this season, and Tsunoda has only finished one race this season. Oscar Piastri out on Alex Dunn. Oscar Piastri are out. That is absolutely incredible. And the race leader who led basically this whole entire race is now out of this race, and that I think means only 6 drivers remain. So technically, for Lewis Hamilton to win this championship, he needs to win this race now, with Charles Leclerc 5th from below. That's not happening. Charles Leclerc's got locked into a win here, I think, and Lewis Hamilton, who's pitted 4 mediums, is right behind Kimi Antonelli. So yeah, Lewis Hamilton, he's probably starting to question Ferrari's strategy, because now was probably the right time to put him on soft tyres, but they put him on the mediums unless they figured out softs, which is really not working. As Charles Leclerc enters lap 11 out of 12, if everything goes smoothly for him, which I think it will, I think he'll be the world champion. Not really world champion, just not the official world champion. Need to get Lewis Hamilton looking on the inside of Kimi Antonelli here on lap 11 out of 12 for third place. Lewis Hamilton is going to get ahead of Kimi Antonelli. There's contact there on the wall, and Lewis Hamilton and Kimi Antonelli are out of the race. Kimi Antonelli continues going, but Charles Leclerc will be the champion now, as Lewis Hamilton is out of this race. And he will not score points either. Charles Leclerc will win this champion. He is the champion. Audi, for the second time this season, will get a double podium, and I think it'll be like their 5th podium of the season, technically. And Sergio Perez will finish 5th place this race. Once again, he'll finish high up in the standings in this race due to being slow. Charles Leclerc will start this last lap. And you just crawl around and he will be champion still. He's got well over 20-second gap lead. Ferrari got their strategy well wrong with got spinning in my hand with Lewis Hamilton, and it kind of led to a collision with Kimi Antonelli, and they got the strategy well right with Charles Leclerc. And that's, I'm not saying that's giving Charles Leclerc the championship. They both deserved it very well. I feel like Lewis Hamilton would have had a higher chance if it wasn't for unfair penalties and unfortunate timed safety cars. and virtual safety cars, but this latter, I said there, was just racing. Unfair penalties is not racing, because it's on Australian Grand Prix this season, in season 2, which was a big unfair penalty. You should not have got a 5-second penalty for that one. But Charles Leclerc, we're watching him getting ready. There's only 5 cars remaining in this race. Previously, the record for the lowest amount of cars remaining in the race in this fantasy universe was 8, and that was at the European Grand Prix this season. Well, that's been demolished and gone on to 5. With only remaining guys being a Ferrari of Charles Leclerc, who's going to take championship this race. The 2 Audis of Bortoleto and Hulkenberg, Antonelli, who very much could have been out of the race after that crash, and Perez was also one of the only finishers. Was one of the finishers last time. Can't remember how other ones were, but Charles Leclerc rounds the final corner, and he is the champion of season 2. Charles Leclerc is your champion. Bortoleto and Audi will once again get a double podium, and Bortoleto, I think he finished on the podium last race in the race before as well. So no, he didn't finish the podium last race. Last race was Ollie Bear in the race before that. But Bortoleto gets second place once again. Hulkenberg, who will get third, and the fastest lap as well for him. Kimi Antonelli, let's take a look at that car, see if he's got any damage. Yes, he does got damage. I'll explain why he's been a bit slow last couple of laps. He will not get the podium. He'll still finish 4th. Kimi Antonelli crossed the line in 4th place. There it is. Charles Leclerc is the champion of season 2. Guys, thank you so much for watching season 2 and watching this season. I'll briefly go over the standings at the end of this. Audi once again on the podium. This has been one brilliant race. Only 5 finishers, and I won't really go over all the DNFs because they accept these 5 with Perez, Antonelli, Hulkenberg, Bortoleto and Leclerc. But the championship standings, you look at it like this and you'd think Leclerc dominated this season. He really did not. He was challenged, and well, he still won it. It was Ferrari though who will take home the Constructors' Championship. Oscar Piastri got mega unlucky this season. Bortoleto, of all his podiums, he rightfully deserves to be up there. Sergio Perez does actually catch up to Lance Stroll and equal him points. World champion Charles Leclerc and Ferrari, and they head back to the main menu. The constructor standings see Ferrari win it with 288 points, Mercedes in second on 212, McLaren in third 175, Audi in 155, Williams on 147, Apex GP on 144, Red Bull on 122, Braun on 94, Haas 81, Aston 51, Cadillac on 22, and Porsche on 0. Here's the race results of each race. It's not really the clearest graph, but it's a graph that what's none whatsoever. You can see Kimi Antonelli does finish ahead of George Russell after they both didn't finish 4 races in a row towards the end of the championship, but Kimi Antonelli did get it 4th place in that final race, and they both won 2 races. Yeah, it's one heck of a season. Many DNFs this season, many crashes. I will slow the cars down for next season just to avoid as much. Will Lucas know to take part in the next championship after only finishing 1 race this season? I don't know. But Charles Leclerc is the world champion. Guys, keep an eye out for season 3. It should start soon. It's a longer season. I think it's around 17 races instead of 15. Guys, make sure you hit the like button and the subscribe button so don't miss out on another race. And the notification bell so you don't miss out at the beginning of season 3 and potentially another series resuming of the Motorsport Manager series, and plans to start resuming that. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.